This meeting is being recorded.
Join us.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear us. Shabbat Shalom. All right. Oh, that's great. Good. Great to see everyone's thumbs. Shabbat Shalom and welcome. Shabbat is arriving and we're here. What a beautiful, beautiful evening for Shabbat, for us to experience Shabbat and for us to experience Shabbat together. We have a lot of things to celebrate tonight. Tonight's the night at Temple Sinai, something we've been doing for decades, to bestow our Harry Wheeler Distinguished Service Award. We have many other things to celebrate tonight as well. One of which is that tonight is Juneteenth. We are celebrating Juneteenth tomorrow. A brand new federal holiday, and for the first time also a brand new state holiday, a time when we are recognizing the end of slavery in America, and also the incredible amount of work that still needs to be done to address racism in our country and its foundation in our country, but recognizing also the beauty of freedom and the importance of being ourselves, of each person created in the image of God. And that's also what Shabbat celebrates. So we're observing that tonight as well, and it's good to be with everybody. First, we're going to begin tonight. Oh, I should say also, here we're in the sanctuary. Rabbi Stein is to my left. In front of me is our rabbinic intern and vocalist, Leah Karnow. Let me see, I can show you all what we're looking like here. Let me do this real fast. Here we are in the sanctuary, just the three of us. There we are. Shabbat Shalom to everybody. And soon, we hope, we will all be able to be together. We're going to begin by lighting our Shabbat candles. And one of the things that we're celebrating tonight is that tomorrow morning, Milo Speck, unbelievable, Milo Speck is going to be called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah. So we give him and his family the honor of lighting our Shabbat candles tonight, and we invite everybody to light your Shabbat candles at home with us and with them, And Milo will invite you and your family to recite the blessing.
Good. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Amen. Amen. Shabbat shalom to everyone. Milo, mazel tov to you, to your parents, Alice and Jeff, to your brother Roman. We'll hear from you later on this evening and definitely tomorrow. Tonight now we're going to turn to the beginning, to our Kabbalat Shabbat. We invite everyone to begin to sing Lechuna Ranana Ladonai, which means let's make us joyful singing. Please join us at home. Lechuna Ranana Ladonai, Ladonai, Laria, Laria, let's do Ishenu. Lechuna Ranana Ladonai, Ladonai, Laria, Laria, let's do Ishenu. Lechuna Ranana Ladonai, Ladonai, Laria, Laria, let's do Ishenu. Lechuna Ranana Ladonai, Ladonai, Laria, let's do Ishenu. La 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Lechun ranena Ladonai, Ladonai, Naria, Naria, letzu Ishenu. Lechun ranena Ladonai, Ladonai, Naria, Naria, letzu Ishenu. Lechun ranena Ladonai, Ladonai, Naria, Naria, letzu Ishenu. Lechun ranena Ladonai, Ladonai, Naria, letzu Ishenu. Naria, letzu Ishenu. And another one of the Psalms for Shabbat. Adonai oz le'amo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. May God bless us all, our whole people and all the peoples of the earth, with shalom, with peace, and with strength. Please join us.
Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo. Ahava shalom. Ahava shalom. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo. Ahava shalom. Ahava
All right, we're ready to greet Shabbat with the Lecha Dodi, and especially this particular Shabbat when we recognize the power of volunteers, right? Of noticing and noting those members of our congregation who have contributed extraordinary service. I'm struck by the last verse of the Lecha Dodi, which is Toch emunei am segula. How does Shabbat come? Through the deep conviction, through the steadfastness of your people. The Lecha Dodi says, that's how Shabbat comes. Toch emunei am segula. Emunah could be translated as deep faith, right? Yearning could be translated as steadfastness, like staying on course no matter what. Shabbat comes because the sun sets, but it also comes because we meet God halfway. We take steps forward and bring Shabbat into our heart through our own yearnings and opening our hearts. So I invite you, as we sing, to yearn for Shabbat a little bit, to make Shabbat come, to bring Shabbat into your heart and into your home as we sing together. Lecha Dodi, la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat nekabel, la 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 Lecha Dodi, la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 b'nei Shabbat.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת, לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם לצוחה, סוף מעשה
Yerushalayim in your home. Which way is east? Please rise as you greet Shabbat, and we bring Shabbat into our homes.
בואי ושלום, עטרת פניו, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמונה עם סגולה.
And now I invite you, wherever you are, to close your eyes, to feel your feet on the floor, or wherever you may be, in your home, wherever, and to know that Shabbat is beginning. And to breathe in now a deep breath, to breathe in the blessing and rest and goodness of Shabbat. Taking a deep breath now. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Now I invite you to greet all the people around you. We're going to put you into a breakout group so that you can greet the people near you and close to you. That is to say, in your breakout group. We're going to set up some breakout groups. And introduce yourself to the people who are there. If you don't know them, wish each other Shabbat Shalom, and we'll call you back in a few moments. Everyone has to hit join breakout room, and we'll call you back shortly. All right, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to everybody at home. Shabbat Shalom. There's Michael Blau wearing a sun hat. Oh, he can't hear me.
It's nice to see Ruth.
All right, I'll put a couple people into breakout rooms real fast. I'm going to join. What'd you say? Yes.
Thank you.
Is she here though? Actually, I didn't. Great. Great. Okay, 5 seconds. Here comes everybody. Okay, Shabbat Shalom as everyone is coming back to us. Shabbat Shalom. We hope that you got a chance to greet new people, wish each other Shabbat Shalom, and feel a sense of community and connectedness of Shabbat. And now it's my pleasure. Oh, I even see Lais Kornbluth is already spotlighted. A little too early on the gun there, but it's my. We just a couple weeks ago we had the great pleasure of bringing Lais Kornbluth, who has been studying Judaism and intending to convert to Judaism for some time. We brought her to the mikvah after she met with the Beit Din of rabbis, and she immersed to become Jewish. So among the celebrations that we have tonight includes a welcome blessing for Lais. We're going to first invite her, she's already spotlighted, we're going to invite her to share a little bit about her experience and her Jewish journey, and then as a community, we'll have the opportunity to bestow a blessing upon her. First, Lais, share with us a little bit of your Jewish journey.
Well, hi everybody. So when Rabbi Vogel asked me to talk about my conversion journey, I found it really hard because how would I condense a year and a half of experience in only a few words? When I started the whole process, I knew about the destination. I knew where I wanted to get, that was like to become Jewish, but I had no idea how the road to get me there would be. And it actually surprised me a lot. I learned so much more than I thought I would learn. I read and wrote so much more than I thought I would read and learn. And that added a lot. When I started, I was always asking questions and I felt like I was kind of lost and I didn't know about anything. Now I feel like I'm getting better. I know I still have a lot to learn, but I can even answer some questions like the people ask me. So I like that. But it has been a really meaningful experience to learn about all of the history and traditions of the Jewish people. And working with Rabbi Vogel has really made me feel like I'm part of the community. Rabbi Vogel and Temple Sinai, you all have been so welcoming and made me and my husband feel like part of the community. So we're really grateful for that. And I learned so much. One of the things that I'll miss the most is my monthly meetings with Rabbi Vogel, because it always added so much to me. So that would be a sad part. And finally.
Thank you, Lais. Yes.
Okay.
We're so happy to celebrate with you. We know you've studied Jewish traditions, Jewish holidays, theology, tzedakah, social justice in Jewish tradition. You've read Torah and Talmud and Midrash, and we hope that you'll continue to learn and find great joy in Judaism. And at the mikvah, we celebrated not only your conversion, but also taking on your Hebrew name. And what a great Hebrew name. You've chosen Laisha, which is related to one of the cities of the tribe of Dan that became Jewish. Whoops, I think there we go. Sorry, I'm having a hard time here. Okay. And also your second Hebrew name is Tzurit, in memory of your dear sister who was strong as a rock and was a rock for strength for you. And we know that her memory is for a blessing, and you take on her strength in your own life as well. I don't know, is Mark there with you?
No, I sent him to another room.
All right, good, fair enough. So we're celebrating with both of you, though. We want to symbolically place the Torah in your arms. Here we are. I'm going to open the ark. See the Torahs, and we're going to symbolically place them in your arms. If you were here in person, we would do that. And I'm going to invite you to recite the words of the Shema, just as you did in the water of the mikvah, to proclaim your connection to the Jewish people and your connection in Jewish learning and Jewish faith.
Okay. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
And we'll all sing back to you. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto
le'olam
va'ed. Lais, we ask God's blessing for you, for great joy as a member of the Jewish people, that you always find joy in Judaism and that you shower us with your gifts. You have so much to offer to us. And we pray that you will also have many other happy occasions in Judaism. God willing, a baby will arrive in the next, month or so, I think, correct, right?
Yeah.
And we look forward to celebrating that with you as well. And many, many other great occasions. May you always find goodness and blessing in Jewish tradition. So I'm going to invite the entire congregation now to raise their hands in blessing as we ask God's blessing for Lais. And you can see all of the people, if you're in gallery view, you can see all of the people in our community, Lais, who are asking God's blessing for you on this path of your Jewish journey. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God shine light upon you and be good to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lach shalom. Shalom. May God smile upon you, Lais, upon you and your husband Mark and your family as it continues to grow. And in your Jewish journey, your path ahead, may you always find the blessing of shalom, peace, and wholeness. And together we say, Amen. Amen. Mazel tov. Simin tavu, mazel tavu, mazel tavu, simin tav, simin tavu, mazel tavu, mazel tavu, simin tav, mazel tavu, simin tav. Yehelanu, 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 ulecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael. Mazel tov, mazel tov to you, Lais, and to the whole Jewish people. We offer ourselves our own mazel tov. It's great to have you join us, and we look forward to many happy Jewish occasions with you. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Now we're going to continue with the rest of the service, and we'll turn things over to Rabbi Stein.
We turn now to the call to prayer, the Baruch. Please rise as you are able, and we need your voices. This is call and response.
Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai
La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai, yai dai.
Shema Yisrael, we listen, we open our ears, we open ourselves up to this idea that we are all connected, we are all one, we are all unified as one to all that exists.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
good.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen.
Shamru, we observe Shabbat, we sanctify this day of Shabbat, this day of rest, of renewal, the seventh day of creation.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We'll move into our Amidah prayer. We begin the Amidah with a meditation. Adonai svatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips so that my mouth may declare your praise. It can be difficult to pray sometimes. Prayer can be hard to access. And we ask God to help us. Help us open our lips so that maybe, just maybe, we can look deep inside ourselves, deep into our hearts, and open up, access the words that we want to say to God, the words that we want to pray. So I invite you all to rise as you are able as we begin the Amidah with this meditation. We begin this first paragraph together, and then we'll offer our own words of personal prayer with the help of our community and God to access them.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufia ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may
Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Koneh Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
We invite you into a moment of personal prayer or reflection.
יהיו לרצון רפי והגיון ליבי. יהיו לרצון רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. יהיו לרצון רפי והגיון ליבי. יהיו לרצון רפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri vegoali. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you. Oh, my rock, and my redeemer.
Turn now to our Mishaberach prayer, prayer for healing. We're thinking of all of those people in our lives who are in need of healing, healing of the body, healing of the spirit, of the soul, of the mind. We need so much healing in our lives from this pandemic, from the violence that surrounds us. We ask God's blessing for healing for the world, for our society as a whole. And in the Temple Sinai community specifically tonight, we're asking for healing for these individuals: Karen Matheny, Sal Barinholtz, Robin Barinholtz, A.B. Haupt, June Zeiner, Jim Zeiner, Jody Kleiman, Gilbert Kleiman, Ronnie Meckler, Alison Santucci, Meredith Fine, Luann Luce, Ben Slavitt, Evelyn Opat, Samantha Kramer, Ann Fenton, Bill Banak, Sarah Singer-Nori, Wendy Darcy, Don David Ben Ezer Vachaya, Michael Ben Bluma Vishmuel, Shoshana Bat Moshe Ubella, Shoshana Bat Chana Umeir, Shoshana Bat Yitzchak, Pinchas Ben Miriam, Davida Emanuela Bat Yechezkel Ephraim, Ephraim Ben Malka Rachel, Chanan Ashre Ben Moshe Umiriam, Yaira Bat Sarah, Chayasheva Bat Bela, Leora Maya Bat Devorah Leah Umedad Dani, Shmuel Ben Leib, Harav Yochana Or Bat Harav, Meron Vachaya, and please name others in the chat who you're thinking of tonight. We offer them a refuah shlema, a complete healing, and we'll use the words that Moses prayed on behalf of his sister Miriam to offer our prayer for healing.
To the next section of our service, the concluding prayers, beginning with the Aleinu, reminding ourselves of all of the work that we have to do in the world to bring tikkun, to bring repair into our world. I invite you to rise in your places as you wish, as we join together in the Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. על כן נקווה לך אדוני אלוהינו לראות מהרה בתפארת עוזך, לתקן עולם במלכות שדי, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
It's our practice on the night of our Distinguished Service Award always to reflect on what it means to be a synagogue, right? We're grateful to be in this congregation, which was formed in 1939, and many people contributed in extraordinary ways to its strength that we enjoy today. So I'm going to share with you on the screen the names of the previous winners of our Harry Wheeler Distinguished Service Award. And we recite Kaddish for those whose names have an asterisk next to them, those who are deceased members of our congregation who gave their service to our community and built our community. So we remember Saul Kaplan, David Lorensky, Elliot Bachner, William Copans, Henry Schwartzberg, Henry Van Dam, Harry Wheeler, Walter Kobe, William N. Wheeler, George Sparks, Julian Solinger, Aaron H. Sibley, Max Tobin, Alvin Kaplan, Joseph Franklin, Bernard Lemline, Benjamin Berkowitz, Marvin Sparrow, Benjamin Goldfarb, Harold Gorin, Richard A. Kay, Walter Kaufman, Janet Perlman, Lillian Schulman, Molly Sibley, Yale Berry, Ellie Lewis, Ernest Starr, Gerald A. Gilmore, Howard Weintraub, Enid Greenberg Shapiro. Those are our dear deceased winners of our Harry Wheeler Distinguished Service Award. May their memories all be for a blessing. In addition, tonight we remember these individuals whose yahrzeits we observe, and we remember them: Philip Aronson, Bobby Atkins, Morris Barracks, Laura Bingham, Susan Lewis Cooper, Evelyn Goodman, Barbara Hansel Blanche Hausman, Edward Karmazine, Samuel Cates, Alan Langer, Anita Redner, Jean George Shimmick, John Schulman, Irving Schwartz, Saul Siegel, Haskell Storoff, Helen Tupa, and Susan Wynn. And in the period of Shloshim, the past 30 days, we remember these individuals: Murray Enkin, uncle of Jeremy Wolf. And Jeremy, we offer you our condolences tonight. And we remember our dear member, Rudy Cass, who passed away on June 4th. And we also extend our condolences to all of his children, but especially to Elizabeth Cass, who's a temple member as well. And in the chat, we invite you to please name others for whom you'll be reciting Kaddish. As a community, I invite you to rise as we remember all of those whose memories are dear to us and who live on in our hearts. Together, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudesha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. You may be seated. May all their memories be for a blessing. All right, Shabbat Shalom. In just a moment, we're going to turn to some Shabbat announcements offered by our temple president, Charlie Homer. But first, we want to take just a moment for a very special thank you to two Temple Sinai community staff members who will be spending the year in Israel next year. We want to say thank you to Yoni Batat, our music teacher and musician extraordinaire. There's Yoni in New York, able to join us by Zoom. And also to Leah Karnow, who has been our rabbinic intern and vocalist this year. The two of you, our hearts are filled with gratitude as we thank you with just a token appreciation tonight. You have brought us so many gifts. Leah, as our rabbinic intern and vocalist this year, brought grace and beautiful, beautiful music every night that you joined us and on the High Holy Days. Some people in the synagogue, Leah, only experienced you on Friday nights, but they didn't see the other part of your work with us as our rabbinic intern this year, and also as our family educator in previous years, working with families and with children on Sunday mornings, running beautiful, wonderful family education programs, running our Rosh Chodesh discussion program for teen girls, leading our Tat Shabbat services for families on Saturday mornings this year and a little bit in the previous year, being our point person for Family Table, one of our Tikkun Olam activities for teenagers, and I'm sure I'm leaving lots out. And luckily, we're not saying goodbye to you, Leah, because you're going to join us. You have graciously agreed to co-lead High Holy Day services on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur in September, and then like a couple days after Yom Kippur, go to Israel for your year of study in rabbinical school. So we're very, very grateful for that. Yoni, we want to thank you for your oud, for your viola, for your guitar, for on Shabbat services and the High Holy Days, for being our fabulous, energetic music teacher on Sunday mornings with our students for many, many years, for being our tech guy in this incredibly difficult year. You were our video go-to guy as well, and for so many things that you helped with. And aside from the tasks that the two of you engaged in, we just want to thank you for your incredible contributions and partnership as co-collaborators, right? Rabbi Stein agrees.
Definitely.
And I know Heidi does as well, in so many special projects, and for sharing with us your warmth and your joy of Judaism and your love. And every moment that you were engaged with our community, we all felt it very, very much. So I'm going to invite Heidi Smith-Hyde to add just a few words, and then we have two gifts for you. So let's see if we can find Heidi. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Leah and Yoni, I hope you know what an indelible impression you've made on the Temple Sinai community. The two of you are like a force of nature. There is nothing you can't do. You make such beautiful music together. You gladden our hearts and uplift our souls. Yoni, as our Shirah teacher, you infused our weekly music classes and monthly family Havdalah gatherings with joy and Yiddishkeit. When we pivoted to virtual learning, it was you who graciously coordinated the technology and helped train and support our religious school teachers. Leah, you transported us with your creative and original family programs. As a critical member of the Sinai U team, you served as a role model for your beloved Rosh Chodesh group, as well as for the teens with whom you regularly volunteered at Family Table. You are our Shabbat songbird. And Yoni, you are Temple Sinai's very own Fiddler on the Roof. Thank you for sharing your gifts with us.
Beautiful words, Heidi. Thank you so much. So Yoni and Leah, as a token of our gratitude, and you can see all of the faces on Zoom that are filled with smiles right now in gratitude for everything that for all the relationships that you've built and all of the gifts you've given us. We have two small gifts for you. First of all, we know that you're about to go to Israel, so we didn't want to laden you down with like a whole bunch of things that you'd have to pack up. But we have,
Much appreciated.
we are glad to present to you a beautiful glass vase, which is made of thick glass, hand-blown at a wonderful small little studio in Vermont. So we're very happy to give this to you, and we're pretty sure that it would like take a truck to break it. So that's number one. We want to give you that just as a way to bring more flowers and joy into your hearts and into your lives. And the other thing we want to give to you is this is sort of a gift card, more or less. This is sort of a handmade version of this, to a Shir HaShirim feast at one of Jerusalem's most beautiful and delicious restaurants, which is called Ha'Eucalyptus, the Eucalyptus restaurant, which overlooks the old city. You know it, I think, right? Just outside the old city of Jerusalem. And we hope that as you enjoy this beautiful feast, which they call the Shir HaShirim feast. I'm not quite sure what it means. It's like food that's all mentioned in the Song of Songs or something like that. It looks really delicious. We hope that you will think of Temple Sinai and know that we have enduring love for you both. So we're not quite ready to like really say goodbye yet. That's like too difficult. And we also know that Leah's going to be back with us in September. So for now, it's B'te'avon and Be'ahava. We love you very, very much. Thank you both.
Thank you, Rabbi Vogel and Heidi.
Now we're going to turn things over to Charlie Homer, president of our congregation, for some Shabbat announcements. Charlie.
No, thought I unmuted him. It's not working. Here.
There we go. Sorry, it took a minute. Shabbat shalom to everyone. It's so wonderful to see so many people for such a special series of special occasions, but for this wonderful distinguished service award, which we're all about to hear. And I have little to add to the accolades which were said for Yoni and Leah. Just, you know, on behalf of all of the members of the temple, how much joy you've brought to us through this very challenging year and in the many other roles that you play. So thank you. I have just a few announcements. First, let me say we will not have an oneg this evening because the service and program will be going a little bit long. So I hope people will take other opportunities to congratulate Amos, our wonderful recipient of the Distinguished Service Award. But I do want to make an announcement that tomorrow morning we have a bar mitzvah for Milo Speck, who will be called to the Torah. Now, Milo, of course, is the son of Jeff and Alice, as you all know, has been our temple secretary for the last 2 years, and we are most grateful for also the wonderful service that she as a volunteer has provided to us. All, of course, are welcome to that service. That'll be at 10:30 in the morning by Zoom. Before that, Alex Bornswile will be hosting a supporting mindful practice session. So anyone, again, is welcome to join that. That's it. That's next week. Next week at 9:30 in the morning. Wait a minute, I'm confused.
I think it is tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. It is tomorrow. The date I had for the bar mitzvah on the oneg sheet was incorrect. That is tomorrow. Also tomorrow evening, 6 p.m., we have Havdalah in the park. Please join us at Lars Anderson Park. Please pay attention to the weather. If it is raining, that event will be on Zoom. And also be aware that a week from tonight, we will have Shabbat in the park, location to be announced. So with that, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We actually can give a little bit of a preview of where Shabbat will be next week. Rabbi
Yes,
Stein.
Shabbat will be in the yard of our friends at Brookline Church of Christ, which is right in Brookline Village, right at the next to the CVS. We'll come with a detailed map, but our gracious friends there have allowed us to use their beautiful, beautiful yard. So Shabbat in the park next week. Next Friday night, we'll be in Brookline Village at Brookline Church of Christ.
And that is at the corner of
Washington and Cypress.
Washington and Cypress, great. And they have a beautiful backyard, and we're very grateful to have a warm, wonderful relationship with them so that we can make that happen. Good. Okay. Now we're going to turn things over to Milo Speck, who has the honor of sharing with us his Tikkun Olam work and then leading us in the blessings over wine and grape juice for Kiddush. So we will unmute you. There you go. All right. And Milo, tell us about your Tikkun Olam work in honor of your bar mitzvah tomorrow.
My bar mitzvah project has been focusing on food insecurities in Brookline and across the country. At our local Brookline food pantry, they have served 650 to 700 local Brookline families weekly, 4 times more than pre-COVID. In the United States, as many as 1 in 6 children may face food insecurities this year. Beyond my bar mitzvah and post-COVID, we hope to volunteer as a family in person at the Brookline Food Pantry. I would love for you to donate to your local food pantry in honor of my bar mitzvah.
All right, great work. Nicely done. Yasher koach. Now, please, you can raise your Kiddush cup and invite everybody to join with Milo in reciting the blessing for Kiddush.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahavat u'ratzon kilanu, zikaron ha'maseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tefillah l'mikra kodesh, zecher l'yitzias Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta, Otanu kidashta mikol hamin v'hava v'shabbat koshacha v'ava uratzon chinchaltanu Baruch ata Adonai
Baruch Kadosh Shemo.
Hadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Yasha koach. L'chaim. Mazel tov to you. Nice work. All right, good. Everyone is encouraged to join us on Zoom at 10:30 tomorrow morning for Shabbat morning services, including the ceremony for Milo's bar mitzvah. Mazel tov, Milo, Alice, and Jeff, and also to Roman and to your whole family. Congratulations. Great, great moment. All right, now we're going to begin our presentation of the Harry Wheeler Distinguished Service Award, which is given this year to Amos Lassen. And it's my pleasure to introduce Kathy Cotton, who is the chair of the Harry Wheeler Distinguished Service Award Committee. Kathy.
Shabbat Shalom and welcome everyone. I'm delighted to be here and to offer a bit of historical context to tonight's presentation. I'd also like, before I begin, to congratulate the Speck family and Lais, and to add my heartfelt thanks to Yoni and Leah. The Distinguished Service Award at Temple Sinai was first presented in 1956 by Rabbi Beryl Cohen. Back then, the award was known, as was typical in many congregations, as Man of the Year. It was designed as a way to acknowledge and celebrate a member of the temple who has provided exemplary service and leadership to our congregation and to the Jewish community. The Man of the Year nomenclature persisted until 1978, when those on the Distinguished Award on the committee selected Janet Perlman as the honoree. From that gender crisis, the Distinguished Service Award was born. As many of you will remember, Lillian Schulman chaired the DSA committee for many, many years, treating the award and the awardee with the honor and the graciousness for which she herself was known. Harry Wheeler preceded Lillian as chair and continued on the committee for many years. In the late 1990s, by unanimous vote of the board, the award was renamed the Harry Wheeler Distinguished Service Award. The name change was made while Harry was still alive, and after his death, his wife Anna Ray was present for many more award evenings. Before we proceed with this year's award, I want to take a moment to thank all the members of the committee: Nora Abrahammer, Rose Mandelbaum, Larry Marks, Rochelle Seltzer, Mel Stoller, and Jill Winitzer. Thank you. And now I would like to turn the microphone over to Doug Bittman, who will present this year's honoree, Amos Lassen.
Hi, I'm Doug Bittman. Amos asked me to introduce him tonight as he receives the Harry Wheeler Distinguished Service Award. When Amos asked me, I was honored, surprised, anxious. I thought that talking about Amos might present challenges. I spoke with a number of people who I knew are close to Amos, and they were kind enough to speak with me at some length to detail reasons that they care about him, to talk about his many accomplishments, to express their respect for him. One thing I was struggling with what to say referred me to a recent New York Times article on wedding speeches. Another, and I must say more in keeping with my own thoughts, suggested that any introduction like this is more like a eulogy. Seems about right, although I'm here to praise Amos and not to bury him. The rabbi suggested that my role was to explain why Amos is worthy of this award, to celebrate his accomplishments, and to tell a little biography, which led me to have this vision that I would create a 90-minute PowerPoint presentation with graphs and maps and, just to hit the highlights. I will be not presenting those highlights. There is much I will not have time for. In any case, I've read Amos's speech, and he'll be talking about all those highlights, and he does all that stuff much better than I could. So I will just be speaking about why I think Amos is so deserving of this honor. I met Amos after he joined the temple. I'm sorry to admit that I do not have an exact recollection of this meeting. What I do remember, more or less, is that while I have been a member of the temple for some time, Amos already knew many more temple members than I did, which in itself was not so amazing. But what was amazing is that he knew more about every one of them than I knew about any of them. My recollection is that it is possible he already knew more about me than I knew about myself. He does seem to have a great desire for connection to others, to a community, to a temple, to Judaism. And this desire, although of course a path to personal fulfillment, also leads to an incredible history of reaching out and bringing others into this community. In the breakout session tonight, 2 people mentioned their connection with Amos when they first came here. One saying he was the first person they met when they came to the temple. I expect that Amos was the first for many people. Although he did recently, there are many things to say, but I'm going to pass over his work on many committees, his participation in services, etc. I only will say that I've been on the Adult Learning Committee with him forever and attended many, many classes with him, including classes that he taught and co-taught, including several on Hannah Arendt, whoever that was. And his breadth of knowledge, his expansive interest, his connection to authors and filmmakers and Jewish speakers on many topics from many places is extraordinary and has contributed greatly to the breadth and depth of our adult educational programming. His willingness to actively engage is amazing. He is apparently tireless. Although he did recently say to me that he was not participating in the Sunday morning Talmud study group because he was overcommitted and needed to give up something, I cannot imagine why he would lie to me about that. I know for a fact that he does not need to sleep, and I suspect that he has a magic ring or something that allows him to be 2 places at once. There seems to be no other explanation for his being able to accomplish all that he does. Perhaps you have participated in Cinema at Sinai. When Amos first spoke with me of his interest in starting a film series, he described how it had been so popular in his congregation in Arkansas. I immediately thought it was a good idea, and with my characteristic reservations, I thought, what really is there to do on Arkansas on a Saturday night? I've lived in Oklahoma, so this is not merely an Eastern prejudice. Surely it will be much harder to entice the members of this Brookline, Massachusetts congregation, what with all the alternative attractions available here, to find in their busy social schedule and to go to temples to watch a movie. But of course, it was not just to watch a movie, it was to watch interesting movies with Jewish themes, both American and Israeli and from other countries, and to have a chance to schmooze. As with everything that Amos does, he put in the time, the energy, the thought, the knowledge, the skill at choosing well, the passion, and of course, the fetching that made it work and became part of our temple's culture. And in doing so, I believe he engaged people in our congregation who had not been engaged by other activities. And this year, under the auspices of the Israel Committee, he arranged for 3 virtual tours of Israel and discussions within the concept of building bridges, discussions about Israeli society, religion, politics, culture, direct from Israel with an Israeli rabbi. Amos will provide more details about that shortly. Not sure this is the best way to say this, but perhaps only Amos would think to take advantage of pandemic and turn the necessity of remote learning of Zoom into an opportunity to expand the range of our learning, and I believe to once again involve more of the congregation in the process. And perhaps only Amos would have the contacts to make this happen. I have commented to him on his ability to reach out to people and to create greater communities. He said, it's not the ability, it's the nerve. Perhaps the word is chutzpah. Whatever the word, it pays dividends for all involved. His nerve expands connections between members of our congregation and between our congregation and the wider Jewish world. So I want to return to his knowing so many people. He has the ability to grow, to change, a desire to explore and create. And for those fortunate to know him, to bring others along. This is not about gossip, although Amos likes gossip. It is about caring. Amos knows and cares about people. He becomes aware that someone is struggling, someone could benefit from being contacted, someone needs aid or attention as they're going through a rough time. And he individually reaches out to them or reaches out to others whom he thinks might be concerned, would want to help if they knew. He makes sure discreetly that people do know and that contact is made. This is just instinctive for him in an ongoing stream of connection that runs below the surface of the many more public ways that he is so beneficial to the Sinai community. Through the years, I've attended many adult learning classes, some services, many committee meetings. I sat at those meetings constantly impressed with the intelligence, the knowledge, the commitment, the caring of so many of you who were there and who are here tonight. I feel lucky to have chosen to be part of this congregation. It is, I feel you are a special group of people. The thing is, Amos is not always the easiest guy to get along with. I do not think there's anyone with whom I have been friends over a long period of time that I disagree with so often or so seriously. It does not matter. He transcends all that. His relationships are often rocky. I do not think he will be surprised to hear this or even surprised by my saying this out loud. He, after all, did choose me to speak. His relationship with this temple has at times been rocky. And as I feel lucky to be part of this congregation, I think that Amos is also lucky to be here. But that is not my point. My point is that I think this temple is incredibly lucky to have him as a part of this community. And if I may say so, this family. He is a person who keeps striving to keep learning, to keep growing, who even at his well-advanced age continues to reflect on himself. That in itself is not a common trait. He is a person with a gift for connecting with people and even for reconnecting. There are many people in this congregation that deserve to be recognized, but I want to say that choosing Amos this year, and somehow especially this year, is a great choice. It fills me with great joy for him and for us that we were wise enough and caring enough to honor Amos in this way. Amos, my friend, Mazel Tov.
Thank you very, very much, Doug. It's my pleasure now to turn things to Charlie Homer, president of the congregation, to officially present Amos with the award.
Thank you, Rabbi, and thank you, Doug, for those heartfelt and thoughtful and inspiring comments. And Amos, it is such a pleasure for me to be able to present this award to you. I'll be brief so that we can hear your own words, but allow me to read the beautiful and very thoughtful plaque, which is visible on the screen. It starts with the saying from the Pirkei Avot, which is that wisdom will endure when one's deeds exceeds one's wisdom. And again, what I like on that, it's not that we're not wise, but that it's by our actions. And Amos, it is indeed your many actions, some of which Doug has already commented on, that you have just provided such a gift to our community. So allow me on behalf of Temple Sinai to proudly present the Harry Wheeler Distinguished Service Award to members who have offered dedicated service to Judaism and the congregation. And that is exactly what Doug spoke of. And again, we are so grateful and happy to be able to bestow this award upon you, Amos. So thank you. And I'll hand the microphone over to you.
Wow, wow, wow. What can I say? Just beautiful words. Thank you so much, Doug and Charlie. I just want to give a quick shout out. I want y'all to notice on your screen that there's another last in here tonight, and that's my sister Sandy. We have the same color hair. You might notice. And I'm so glad that she's with us tonight, and as well as some of the other people that have been at the temple and spoken at the temple, and that I've worked with over the time that I've been at the temple to bring programming. I don't know if you noticed that Joy Ladin was here. She was one of our rainbow speakers. Leslie Newman was here. Joyce Onan, who was our Passover speaker this year on the Jews of Egypt, was here. My friend Jason Schneiderman is here. Aaron Taub, who did a beautiful, beautiful poetry reading at the temple, is here. But that's not what I have to say. So let me get on with my remarks here. When I got the phone call that I was being awarded the Harry Wheeler Distinguished Service Award this year, my first thought was, what would Hannah Arendt say? And for those of you who know me, you know of my how I feel about Hannah Arendt. She's become my heroine over the years. And then I thought to myself, I have no idea what she would say, but it would just be an interesting way to start a speech. So that's why I chose that. The first time that I came to Temple Sinai was this very same night that Enid Shapiro received the Distinguished Service Award. And I really feel that somewhere Enid is smiling and looking down at me tonight. I've been temple shopping and often attended services at Abendtik, the LGBT temple that uses Weintraub. Marvin Kabikoff suggested to me that I come with him to the service at Temple Sinai. And when we got here, and I said to him, this is it. This is the place where I want to be a member of. That was in June 2013. And at that point, he was the only person that I knew here, and we hadn't even gotten in the door yet. Marvin himself was not yet a member here. But I had a good feeling that night about Temple Sinai, and perhaps it was the music that I heard as we were walking in, but there was something about walking into a place where I knew no one, and then 10 minutes later, I already had 15 friends. I've experienced 3 major moves in my life. And in all 3, I moved to places where I barely knew anyone, and I was required to build a new life. The first move was from my hometown, New Orleans, to Israel, where I had several friends from my young Judea days. But that was it. Within my first year there, I became a citizen, learned to speak Hebrew, and was drafted into the Israeli Defense Forces. So making friends was not too difficult. Returned to the States, back to New Orleans, and being caught in Hurricane Katrina, my next move was to Little Rock, Arkansas, where I lived for almost 7 years. And let me tell you about Little Rock, Arkansas. There are about as many Jews as there are gay people in the state of Arkansas. So making friends there was a real challenge. And it was very difficult. After 7 years, I got a phone call from a friend of mine who said, pack your bags, you're moving to Boston. And that was my third move, to come to Boston, to Brookline, Boston, where I absolutely knew no one except for the person who made the phone call, and she left as soon as I got here. I did know a few of the writers whose books I had reviewed, but I only knew them as words on a page and not as people. So I understood that if Brookline was going to be my home, I would have to find a community where I would find comfortable, where I would feel comfortable. And that is what I found at Temple Sinai. During that first summer, I began coming to Friday night services and came to whatever I could that was sponsored by the temple. From the very beginning, I was determined to be active here. And so I came to whatever happened. I helped build that sukkah my first year here. That was something, because it rained and it was messy. And then I met Toby Axelrod, who introduced me to the Adult Learning Committee, and she and Barry Schwartz really made my life very comfortable as being a member of the Adult Learning Committee, and I began to teach classes. Lucy and Phil Sandler convinced me to become a member of the membership committee. Enid Shapiro once again brought me onto the Rainbow Committee. Robin Orwand invited me to become a member of the Music, Prayer, and Ritual Committee. Jeremy Wolf asked me if I would become part of our annual Passover Seder Planning Committee. Elaine Ober and Lisa Stefani brought me to the Inclusion Committee. Shabbat services and Torah study became an important part of my life, as did the rabbi's Thursday morning study group. And of course, Rabbi Vogel, who asked me to do my first Dvar Torah just 3 weeks after I joined the temple, has continued to support the programs that I've wanted to have here at the temple. As of yet, I have not really had the chance to work with Rabbi Talia Stein, but there'll be time for that. Growing out of adult learning, we began Cinema at Sinai that has become more successful than I could have ever imagined, and gave me a chance to bring quality Jewish and Israeli films to the temple, which were followed by fascinating discussions. Recent films included The Garden of the Finzi Cantini, Call Me By Your Name, and Madame Rosa. I'm especially proud of bringing the Israeli film 15 Years, about a gay Israeli couple, and having the chance to lead a discussion on it with temple members and the film's director, Yuval Haddadi. I've already selected quite a slate of good films for next year, and they will reflect the diversity of our community. So stay tuned for that list coming soon. I'm exceedingly proud of what the Israel Committee has done this year. In the past, we've sponsored a few sessions with guest speakers, but I felt that during the pandemic, it was important to have special programming. These included 3 virtual tours led by the wonderful Uri Feinberg. We had over 65 people participate in those. But I really feel that the jewel in the crown this year was our Building Bridges program, initiative, as I like to call it, with Rabbi Golan Ben Horin of Haifa. During 15 Sunday afternoons, we confronted questions about Israel and Zionism. Over 200 congregants participated in these discussions, and we gained new understandings about Israel and the practices of Reform Judaism there. I'm so proud to say that the program will continue next year, and for a change, it will be on Sunday morning, so we'll be able to have more people come to our sessions under the topic, When Jews Are the Majority, a look at the minority groups of Israel. And this will be done through film and guest speakers, including a member of the Knesset. This is a topic in which I've been extremely interested for years, especially looking at Sephardic Jews and Jews from Arab countries. Mark Twain once said, education is the path from cocky ignorance to miserable uncertainty. And I want to add that this uncertainty is what drives us to want to learn even more. Education has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember, whether it be teaching inner city kids how to read, explaining Shakespeare's Julius Caesar to Israeli students who are learning English, examining Zionism through literature, arguing whether Eichmann was really guilty for the genocide of European Jewry, the relationship of Judaism and the LGBT community, exploring the inner workings of the kibbutz movement, teaching the work of Israeli poets, looking at the dove as a metaphor in the Song of Songs, or finding Jewishness in popular film. Many people do thank yous. I've already mentioned several, but there are many more. I've been so lucky to have beautiful friendships grow out of the committees that I sit on, as well as with other members of the temple. I miss the hugs we have shared, but I know we will have the chance to share those hugs once again. In his prologue to The Glass Menagerie, Tennessee Williams says, the play is memory. Judaism is a religion based on memories, and memories in Judaism have filled my life. I share the memory of moving to Israel when the country was but in her teens and having the chance to help build the country. I have the memory of growing up as a Southern Jew and the memories of being a member of Young Judea, where my love for Zionism developed. There are also memories of studying with scholars who enriched my life, and the memory of having lived through the devastation and loss of Hurricane Katrina and being homeless afterwards. Above all, I have memories of Temple Sinai and my new family, and how I found here a whole new perspective, especially now that I've become a Yankee. I am truly honored by this award and sincerely thank each and every member of the temple, especially those who have put up with my craziness over the years. There will be more craziness to come, don't worry. But unlike my heroine, Hannah Arendt, I will look for importance and not banality. I want to close with the first stanza of one of my favorite Israeli poets, Leah Goldberg, in her poem, Shirei Sof HaDerech, or Songs for the End of the Road. And I'm just going to read you 4 lines. Haderech yafa ad me'od amar ha'na'ar. Haderech kasha ad me'od amar ha'elem. Haderech arucha me'od amar ha'gever. Hazaken yashav lanuach b'tzad haderech. The road is very beautiful, said the boy. The road is very difficult, said the youth. The road is very long, said the man. The old man sat to rest at the side of the road. Unlike that old man, and I will be 78 in 2 weeks, I have no intention by sitting by the side of the road. I remain challenged by the road's beauty, difficulty, and length. I look forward to traveling that road with all of you. Thank you again so much, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Amos, and Mazel Tov to you. We're all clapping, and we could see on the screen, everybody is clapping for you to give you applause. Amos, Mazel Tov to you. I am very, very grateful for the day that you first walked into Temple Sinai. I remember that day very, very clearly, and I remember talking with you at the Oneg that night, and we are so grateful that you're part of our community. I want to say, everybody at Temple Sinai has their own special role or roles. You have many roles at Temple Sinai. You are an extraordinary student, you are a wonderful teacher, and you are a dedicated organizer. We just think about some of the ways that you have been engaged in those particular roles. With our Israel committee, as you said, your deep connection to Israel and the way that you've connected us to Israel, particularly in this year via Zoom, is truly extraordinary. The movies that you have brought to Temple Sinai for years on Saturday nights and Sunday nights have been a wonderful way to share your love of cinema and art with us. Your commitment to LGBTQ identity and LGBTQ rights is very, very important to our community. Your love of poetry and literature. You are a greeter at Shabbat services and a regular prayer here at Friday nights and Saturday mornings. And your incredible participation in so many committees. We are very, very grateful for the roles that you play. You are always present here at Temple Sinai. You care very, very much, and we want you to know the community cares about you as well. It's my pleasure to be able to give you the gift that the Distinguished Service Award Committee has chosen. Kathy Cotton picked out this beautiful, beautiful gift at Kolbo, which you can hang on your wall. I'm screen sharing it now. It says, Lilmod ulilamed, to learn and to teach. A perfect gift for you, Amos, because you are a person who loves to learn, and you are always spending your hours learning, and you also love to teach, and you are a gifted teacher. So on behalf of Temple Sinai, by the way, I have the gift physically right here. That was just a photo of it. And we will make sure that it gets to you or that you can pick it up sometime in the week ahead after Shabbat. And we want to wish you Mazel Tov, and we want to thank you very, very much for your service to our community. Thank you, Amos. Mazel Tov to you. And I especially want to thank our Distinguished Service Award Committee, chaired by Kathy Cotton, for all of their work and thoughtful consideration this year. We're very, very grateful, Kathy, to you and to your committee, and to Doug Bittman, who spoke tonight, and Charlie Homer. Thank you very, very much to all of you. We're going to conclude our evening now with 2 blessings. First, the Birkat Kohanim, to once again ask God's blessing, this time for each other and for our community, and to receive blessing from each other, and then by making motzi over challah. So I invite you to raise your hands in blessing and to feel the blessing of the community and to bestow blessing on other members of the community. Leah.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך. יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונקה. יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. שלום, שלום, שלום. וישם לך שלום. שלום, שלום, שלום. וישם לך שלום. וישם לך שלום. וישם לך שלום.
May God bless you and protect you. May God shine light upon you and be good to you. May God smile upon you, upon our whole community, upon all of us and all whom we love, and bless us with the gift and blessing of shalom, peace and wholeness. Amen. Amen. And finally, please join me in the words of the Motzi, and we invite everybody to enjoy a beautiful Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.